I'm going to show you how to make lavender crochet, but this time it's a super slow version. So last year I made a very same tutorial lavender crochet, but I admit it was a mess and I anticipate it because I just made it for fun and I want to experience the first hand how to make a video YouTube. It was my first tutorial video I ever have. I let my video floating in my channel and one day a stranger DM'd me in my Instagram requesting for a super slow version and more understandable. And honestly, I can't ignore her request because she says she wanted to make the lavender crochet for her husband's birthday on this September. So clearly she's plotting everything for her husband's birthday 6 months earlier. So I tried to make this video as slow as possible so that you guys can follow me, and I will teach you how to hold yarn and hook, how to do the slip knot, how to do chains and slip stitch, and I will also teaching you how to count stitches. If you are an advanced beginner and you want to jump straight to the patterns, you can find them in my blog linked in the description down below. Alternatively, if you want an ad-free crochet patterns, you can find them in the link description below as well. You can always come back to this video if you require a visual assistance to complete your project. Now let's jump to the tutorial. The product that we will get is around 3 inches for the lavender, 3 inches, and the leaves is about 2 inches long. For this project, we need 2 yarns. One is for the lavender itself and another one is for the leaves. A bit about these yarns, I'm using 100% acrylic yarn, and according to its size, I think this is a super fine yarn. It has 4 plies, so you can use any kind of yarn that you have in your hands. I would like to recommend on super fine to medium weight of yarns, but the result would be different from yarns to yarns, obviously. Other than that, you will need a skewer for stock, or alternatively you can use a wire, but this one is a floral wire. It is bendable and easy to cut. Okay, but for this tutorial I'm just using a skewer. This skewer is 25 cm long. And then not to forget glue gun as well as the stitch marker to make your life easier. And the most important is the crochet hook. So for the super fine yarn, I'm using 2.5mm or 4/0. This is the Japanese metric numbers. So yeah, let's get started. If you are a right-handed person, so you have to hold the crochet hook at your right hand and hold the yarns at your left hand. There are 2 ways to hold the crochet hook. The number one is to hold it like a pencil. So you're gonna work the crochet hook like this. Another way is to hold it like a knife. This is my personal preference. I am most comfortable by holding the crochet hook like this. Before I'm going to demonstrate how to hold the yarn, let's do the slip knot first. The right hand is the shorter tail and at my left hand is the longer tail. Now what we are going to do is to overlap the longer tail onto the shorter tail. Like this. Okay. And then this is the longer tail. Pull it through the loop like this and release. Ta-da! And you have that big slip knot. So how you are going to know that your slip knot is working? You pull this yarn, you can see that it is adjustable and eventually it will turn back to the normal. Okay, one more time. Wrap your finger, make sure the long tail overlap the shorter tail, then pick up the yarn through the loop and then release. And you can have an adjustable slip knot. Another way is my favorite way, but it's for advanced, I think. But if you are a beginner, you can do that as well. Make a loop like this between your fingers. Take your crochet hook, insert it, and then twist it once or twice, and then pick up the longer tail into the loop. Release, and then you have another slip knot. There are many ways how to hold the yarn, but the one that I show here is my personal preference. So I'm a right-handed, so I'm going to hold the yarn at my left hand. Wrap the yarn over your pinky, bring it to the front, and then go to the back of your index finger, and then your middle finger and your thumb hold the slip knot just underneath the slip knot. One more time. Wrap the yarn over your pinky, bring it to the front, wrap the yarn over the index finger, and hold the yarn at thumb and middle finger. Hold the slip knot just underneath it. So basically, we are going to work within this area. You see? Like this, like this. We are going to work within this area. So let's I demonstrate some chains over here. Let's say if I'm going to work 5 chains, 1, 2, 3, and as time goes by, make sure that your middle finger and your thumb crawling up just under the new stitches. Okay, 4, 5, 6, and then my finger will crawling up just under the crochet hook. So that's how you are going to hold the crochet hook and yarn. Now it's time to practice to hold the crochet hook and yarn. What I would like to recommend for the new beginner is to practice chains as much as you can until you feel confident enough to do the project. So how to do chains? Yarn over and pull the yarn through the loop. And as you can see, as I'm going to pull the yarn through the loop, I switch the head of the crochet hook facing downwards so that I can easily pull it through the loop. Now repeat. Now I have 2 chains already. You can repeat as much as you can until you feel confident and comfortable holding the crochet hook and yarn. And what's most important is until you get even size of chains. I think that's the one most important. Like this one, if you can see here, I have an even size of chains. How to know how many chains that I already have? So as you can see here, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I have 7 chains. Another tip that I can give to beginner is to count the bump of the chain. If you can see here, there is bump, bump, bump. So 1 bump, 2 bump, 3 bumps, 4, 5, 6, 7 bumps. So you have 7 chains altogether. So that's how you going to identify how many stitches that I have already in my hand. So are you ready to do the lavender crochet? Now let's get started. So for this project, I need chain 50. So just do 50 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and until 50 chains. So you can pause this video until you get 50 chains, and you can always rewind this video as much as you want until you get, oh, this is how I do the chains. While working on your chains, please make sure that your chains are not too tight or not too loose. And as much as you can, please make sure that you have an even size of chains along the way. Like this one, I have a perfect sizes of chains. I know it's difficult for a beginner because it's normal for beginner to experience uneven size. Like sometimes it get bigger, sometimes it get tighter, but that's okay. Just keep practicing until you feel comfortable and confident enough. Now I have 50 chains. Now we are going to do a slip stitch at the 6th stitch. So when I say I'm going to do a slip stitch at the 6th stitch, meaning that you have to locate where is the 6th chains from the last stitch. So for this case, my 6th stitch would be 1 bump, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I'm going to do slip stitch at this stitch. So how to do the slip stitch? At the original position, insert the hook at the 6th stitch. Okay, now if you can see here, we have 2 loops of yarn over here. Now grab the yarn and pull it to both of the loop. Ta-da! Now we have 1 picot. So this is basically 1 picot. We are going to do many picots around the stitches so that we can have this effect of lavender. Next, we are going to do the 2nd picot. So we are going to do chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chain 5, and then slip stitch at the next stitch. So this was the stitch that have been slip stitched to, and we are going to find the next stitch. So where is the next stitch? Here. Do not skip stitch. I warn you, do not skip stitch. This is one of the common mistakes that beginner always make. So make sure that you know where is the very next stitch. So in my case, my very next stitch is here. So insert your hook here. You have 2 loop of yarns, yarn over, pull the yarn through both of the loops. Now you have the 2nd picot. Do the 3rd picot. So basically each picot has 5 chains and a slip stitch at the next stitch. Now do the 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 5, slip stitch at the next stitch. Slip stitch. Okay, repeat the process. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Insert your hook at the next stitch to make a slip stitch. Now, how many picots that we have? 4. Good. So we have 4 picots already at our hand. Now we are going to make a total of 15 picots by repeating the same steps, 5 chains and slip stitch at the next stage. Now I have a total of 15 picots, and as you can see here, it starts to twirl by itself. Okay, and now let's mark the 15th picot with a stitch marker so that you won't forget the location of the 15th picot. Put your stitch marker like this. Ta-da! So okay, now I know this is the 15th picot. Alternatively, if you don't have a stitch marker, you can always pick up a contrast color of yarn. Okay, let me show you how. Cut around 3 inches of contrast color yarn, and you can tie the 15th picot. Just tie it like this. This is the way how you mark your picot if you don't have the stitch marker. I'm going to cut this and replace it with stitch marker because I have the stitch marker. Okay, now let's proceed with the next step. For the next step, we are going to do picots as well, but it has an additional stitch. Instead of doing 5 chains, we are going to do 6 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 chains and then slip stitch at the next stitch, just like the previous picot that you made. You have 2 loops of yarn over, pull it through. Now you have the 16th picot, and this is the first set of the new set of picot. Now repeat, chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chain 6, slip stitch at the next stitch. Okay, now you have the second set of new picot. Repeat, chain 6 and then slip stitch at the next stitch. Repeat until you have 15 sets of the new set of picot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slip stitch at the next stitch. And then make a new set of picot. Chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then slip stitch at the next stage. Now we are going to repeat the new set of stitch until you get 15 set of picot that have 6 chains. Now I have 15 sets of picot that have 6 chains. As we know earlier, that the marked picot is my 15 picot, which it is the last picot that have 5 chains. And I know that this is the first picot that have 6 chains, so I just started to count the picot from here to ensure that I have enough picot before I proceed to the next type of picot. 1, 2, 3, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So I know that I have enough picot that have 6 stitches. Now I want to mark this last picot so that I won't lose it. I just using the previous marker, or you can even use a new stitch marker if you want to. Now we are ready to do a new set of picot, at the remaining of the chains. Now we need to do a picot that have 7 chains. Now chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 chain, and then slip stitch at the next stitch. Now we have a new picot with 7 chains. Repeat the same process. Chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 chain, and then slip stitch at the next stitch. Now we have 2 picot with 7 chains. Now repeat the same step and make sure that you have another 15 picots of 7 chains. This is my last chain. Okay. Now I want to check whether I have enough 15 picots. So I know that the marked picot is the last picot that have 6 chains. Now I know that this is the first picot that have 7 chains. So I'm gonna count from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, ada 14 You should have 15 picots altogether, but for my case, I have 14 picots of 7 chains. But don't panic, it is still acceptable as it is. I might be skip a stitch somewhere. This is quite common for crocheters to skip stitch without I even realize. Maybe I have skipped somewhere, or yeah, I found it. I skipped here. Okay, I can redo it back if I want to. But if you have less than 15 picot and you don't know how to troubleshoot your lavender, it's totally fine as long as you have chains of picot from the end to the front. That's totally fine. But if you know how to troubleshoot it, you know where you skip the stitch, then you might want to redo it again. Now I have enough 15 picot, so I can remove this. At the end of this stitch, you need to chain 1 to fast off, and then pull the yarn. Leave a very long tail so that the tail can wrap the stem here. So just leave it extra, and you have that lavender. Now we are going to proceed to do the leaves here. The leaves has some additional type of stitches where it involves single crochet, half double crochet and double crochet. But rest assured, I will teach you how to do those stitches in the leaves later. Now we are going to do chain 10. Let's do the slip knot first. Oops. The long tail over the short tail. Pick up the long tail over the loop, pull it, chain, you have the slip knot. Then adjust the yarn according to your crochet hook size, and then put it on your palm, hold it at your thumb and your middle finger. Now we are going to do chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we are going to do single crochet for 3 times, starting at the second stitch. Now the second stitch is here, so to do the single crochet, insert your hook at the second stitch, yarn over, bring it outside. Now you have 2 loops on your crochet hook, yarn over, pull it through all the loops. This is the first single crochet. Now we are going to do the second single crochet at the next stitch. Insert your hook at the second stitch, grab the yarn, pull it outside. Now you have 2 loops of yarn, yarn over, pull it through the third one, insert your hook at the third chain, grab a yarn outside, and then yarn over, pull your yarn through the loops. Now we have 3 single crochet already. So as you can see here, I have 1, 2, 3 heads of single crochet. So this is how you would like to identify how many single crochet that I already have. Let me show you closer. 1, 2, 3. It looks like chains at the top of the single crochet, but in the middle you can see some small pillars indicating that this is the single crochet. Now we are going to do half double crochet at the next 3 stitches. So to do the half double crochet, you need to yarn over, insert your hook at the next stitch, grab a yarn, pull it outside. Now you can see that you have 3 loops. Now we are going to yarn over and pull the yarn all over 3 loops. Now we have finished the first half double crochet. The second half double crochet, yarn over, insert your crochet hook at the next stitch, grab a yarn, pull it outside, and then yarn over, pull it all through the 3 loops. The last one, yarn over, insert your crochet hook at the next stitch, grab a yarn outside, yarn over, pull it all 3 loops together. Now we have 3 half double crochet already. Next, we are going to do 3 double crochet at the last 3 stitches. It's very similar to the half double crochet, but it has a little tweak at the middle of the process. I'm going to show you how. It's still the same. You're going to yarn over before you insert the hook at the next stitch, grab a yarn. So this is very similar to half double crochet, but this time we need to yarn over, pull through only at 2 loops only, pull through. Now we have left 2 loops, yarn over, pull it through all together. Okay, try again. Yarn over, insert your crochet hook at the next stitch, pull it through. We have 3 loops of yarns, yarn over, pull the yarns over 2 loops only, and then yarn over, finish it off. So that's the second half double crochet. Now the last half double crochet, yarn over, insert your crochet hook at the next stitch, grab the yarns, yarn over, pull the yarn through 2 loops only, and then yarn over, finish it off. So that's the last double crochet. So we have completed the first leaf. We are going to repeat the process until we get 6 leaves all together. So how to do next leaf? Chain 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 chains, and now we have to make 3 single crochet at the next 3 stitches, starting at the second stitch. Insert your hook at the second stitch, grab a yarn over, pull it all together. Now we have 1 single crochet. Now the next single crochet, insert your hook at the second stitch, grab a yarn over, pull it through. We have 2 single crochet right now. The third one, insert your hook at the next stitch, grab a yarn over, and then pull it through. Now we have 3 single crochet. Next, work 3 half double crochet at the next 3 stitches. Yarn over, insert your hook at the next stitch, grab a yarn outside. We have 3 loops, yarn over, pull the yarn all together. 1 half double crochet. Second half double crochet, yarn over, insert your crochet hook at the next stitch, grab a yarn outside, bring it over. We have 3 loops of yarn, grab a yarn, and then pull the yarn through all the loops. Make the same thing at the next stitch as well. So we have 3 half double crochet already. Then make 3 double crochet at the next 3 stitches. Yarn over, insert your hook at the next stitch. Oops. Grab a yarn over, pull it through 2 loops only, and then yarn over, finish it off. Repeat 2 more. And now we have 2 leaves already at our hand. Now repeat the same process until we get 6 leaves all together. Now I have 6 leaves, and then we need to fasten off by chaining 1 and then leave a long tail. Leave a long tail until that you feel like okay, it is enough to wrap the yarn over the skewer. Here comes the assembling part. So we need to preheat the glue gun, or you can use whatever glue that you have, as long as it is compatible to your yarns and your stem. Okay, now I'm going to glue something. Okay. Okay, keep it twirling around, and at the same time put some glue on it. See, that's the mess that I have made. Apology for that. Now it's the end of the lavender. So yeah, this is how it looks like when it has been completely wrapped. Okay, now we are going to wrap the long tail across the stalk. So you notice here we have 2 strands of yarns. This is from the slip knot that we have made at the first step, and this is at the last stitch. I like to wrap the longer tail over the shorter tail, so it's gonna looks like this. So this is the shorter tail, I hold it tight, and this is the longer tail, so I twist it like this. Okay, I wrap it around while I'm hiding the shorter tail. Okay, so basically we don't have to put the glue all over the stand, just put it a bit by bit at certain points only. Like I only put it here and then just continue wrapping. Now I have reached the end, so I just put the last glue at the bottom, just a bit like that, and then finish the wrapping session. Okay, that's it. I want to cut the leftover. Now here comes the leaves. So now we are going to wrap the leaves. So to wrap the leaves, make sure that the leaves are facing adjacent to each other like this. I'm going to take the first leaves that we made here. I'm going to put some glue over here. So I'm going to put it somewhere in the middle. Okay, I think this is perfect. Now I'm going to stick the second leaves facing to the first leaves. Okay, now I'm going to put some glue here. Then the third leaf, we are going to put right here. Yeah, it's adjacent to each other, but a little bit lower. Yes, we are actually wrapping the leaves around the stem, but we need to arrange the leaves intentionally. This is the last one. Yeah. Okay, so you can see here that the leaves are evenly distributed because we arrange it adjacent to each other. So the leftover yarns, pick up the longest tail that we have made. Similar to the purple one, we are going to wrap it all around until at the end of the skewer. So yeah, this is a short tail, the one that we made slip knot, and this is the long tail that we have fastened off. So we just wrap it around like we did on the lavender. Put the very last drop of glue and then glue it up everything, and that's the end of wrapping session. Yay! So this is how it looks like. Okay, you can remove all the extra glue, the mess that you have done. Okay, so this is my lavender. It looks so cute. Now I have 2 lavenders, so I can put it on the vase or I can make it as a bouquet. We have finished the lavender project, and you can repeat as much as you want until you get the desired amount of the lavender. I hope this time you guys can follow the video instruction. So what should I teach next? Please let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and see you at the next project.